Well, today I'm going to discuss the documents that are needed. Certificate of live birth is pretty much well discussed. I've discussed a great deal about the assertion. Now, a fee schedule is pretty standard. You need to have a fee schedule so that you have something to sue with. One thing I've noticed, a number of people have been not discussing their address and being arrested. Basically, in other words, what they do is they arrest you so that they can serve you with documents. It's a legitimate reason to arrest you. So the problem, cover that problem, give them a notice of address for service, and then they don't have to arrest you and take you and serve you personally. And the final thing is a bond. Now, personally, I think this is the actual toolkit for the sovereign. This toolkit should be in the form of originals. Should all be kept for your person. They should all be notarized, except for certificate of live birth doesn't need notarization. You provide to certified true copies to the police, to the courts, and those kinds of things. With the other point of contention is what's a summary court, or a summary court. Well, so basically, we're going to go through the courts. Criminal court is divided into a number of things. First thing a judge will ask in a criminal court is, how does the Crown wish to proceed, summarily or indictable? Now, indictable generally has to do with harm to a person or property, assault and those kind of personal injury. Criminal courts will also, the other part of criminal court is a summary. The judge will, the Crown will say, wish to proceed summarily, which basically gets you into a summary court. And that has to do with mostly financial crimes, crimes that don't have a victim. That's why it's a summarily procedure, or summary procedure. Family court is pretty much all summary, and provincial offenses court is pretty much all summary. The reason being is that most of those are, for instance, custodial or support orders. The provincial offenses court are traffic and bylaws, to do with the city bylaws, regional bylaws, traffic, and those various things. So basically this gives you an outline of how what Dean Clifford means by a summary court. Now, when you go, when they in the criminal court, when when a Crown goes indictable, then you go. Basically, what they do is you're considered being put into what they call high court. Whether they physically move you to another court or not is not usually. They don't really physically move you over to another court, but it's handled in a different manner. So, like I say, basically, when someone like the Children's Aid, which is a division of this, and actually an extension of this in the family court, this is where you're going to proceed with Children's Aid or Family and Children's Services. The other aspect of these documents is these have to be filed in certain places before you actually do something. If you're going to go and drive your personal conveyance, you have to have certain things that are done before you do it so that you can properly assert what you're doing. If you have this package here sent out to your Ministry of Transport, your Ministry of the Attorney General, your police, the Chief of Police, and the Superintendent of your local police station, then everybody's pretty much covered for any driving infractions. So personally, I would. There's a number of things that I do that I make sure I do beforehand, and again, this has to be done before even doing any of this stuff, because now once you have that, you now have evidence from that you've sent these notices out. You've informed everybody of what you're doing, and you're not just doing it out of sheer will to do something wrong. The prime key with much of this is to do it in honor. In honor means you've given notice, you're going to do something correctly, you're going to follow the rules, you're going to be responsible by having a bond, and that bond covers your insurance, say for driving a car. And you know, again, you need to just be conscious of what you're doing. You're noticing people. You're noticing various groups here, all the way down to, for instance, the police. You're using the police to collect your evidence for you. Now, you can't rely on the police to collect evidence and use it on your behalf, but if you drop a affidavit stating that you gave the police this document or that document, or presented them with whatever, or do an affidavit of what happened after you get a traffic stop, then you've pretty much got your evidence, and you can present that in court. And then the officer has to come into court. He can't lie, or he's not supposed to. So when you put the officer under oath, and then he admits you gave him these documents, then you know he's testifying on your behalf. So I just recommend that everybody be very, very careful on how they present these documents. And make sure that you document that you've given these documents. I mean, now, if a police officer decides to start lying, that's his problem. You're just creating evidence. You're actually having the police actually collect evidence for you, and then you're putting it in the courts. And it's already been presented in the other places that you need to do that. Now, anything you send out, you have to have proof that you sent it. So that also goes into the courts as evidence. So what you want to do is you want to create evidence of being in honor. You're telling them what you're going to do. They've not objected. They've more or less given you permission. and then the police stop you, and you've given them your documents that you've presented to the ministers. They've not objected, and so the police have to either let you go or get themselves into a lot of trouble, because with all this, you're going to take it to, even if you do get a conviction, which you more than likely won't if you handle it correctly, even if you do get a conviction, you can take it to civil court and present your evidence and the record of the summary convictions courts, and present that in the in Ontario it's called the Superior Court. In other provinces it's called the Court of the Queen's Bench. But you have civil resolutions for these items. Thank you.